Blue Lock, Chapter 245, You Need to Die Once. The score is 1-2 as we go to the match Manshine City versus Ubers, where we see AGI trapping the ball with his chest in between Drago and Perron, while PXG is flexing its firepower at the same time in another part of Blue Lock Ubers and Manshine City exchange blows. As the chaos emanates from the two battlegrounds, who will become the game's protagonist and score the winning goal? Chris urges AGI to pass to Nagi Seishiro, much to Aji's dismay. So he passed to the protege Nagi Seishiro while he was being pressed hard. Nagi Seishiro traps the ball in elegant fashion like usual. Nico warns Ryu that the ball is coming, so they are preparing for his arrival now. Nagi Seishiro looks very confident as he's running towards the egoists. He taps the ball over Nico's head and roulettes past him while tapping the ball perfectly. But now, of course, ace-eater Don Lorenzo is trying to get in his way. Lorenzo tells Nagi that he's not the only one who's special inside the Neo-Egoist League. In Ubers, their team that would of course be Barou Shui, and in Manshine City, I'd argue that it's Chigiri since he's the only one who managed to score against PXG. Nagi freezes up the moment he comes face to face against Don Lorenzo, but Rio urges Nagi to shoot right now. He doesn't want Nagi to hesitate, he just wants him to focus on the goal. And that's exactly what he does while being hard-pressed at the same time. But Aiku manages to clear the ball as he reckons that Nagi is too slow, which is very true, because Nagi freezing up probably cost him a couple of seconds. And the fact that Nagi is hesitating is very odd, as well as it doesn't look like the prodigy's mind is occupied with football at all. He really needs to come back to his senses, otherwise all he's going to gain is the drive back home. It just feels like he has lost confidence in his abilities after he lost against PXG, which is a shame. Back to the present moment, Aiku asks him if this is really all he has got, as he wonders where that passion he showed for football went when he faced Isagi. The only reason why Nagi was fired up back then is because he really wanted to crush isagiyoichi. Now that he doesn't have a clear goal, he's clearly lost. Rio tries to put goals on him, but that's not working either. Nagi needs to regain his passion through a goal that makes him want to get out of bed and conquer the field. Lorenzo compliments Aiku for that block, as he reckons that it's worth 80 million yen. And Nagi is frustrated as you'd expect. Now Barou Shui makes his grand entrance as he gets the loose ball and barges up the field. We see Rio being frustrated as well as Barou tells them to get out of his way as that last goal is his. So he casually dribbles past a couple of Manshine City players. Rio tries to tackle him, but it's of no use as he passes the ball towards Nico, and Nico proceeds to pass the ball back towards Barou. Barou is literally in front of the goal now, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, as he activates Predator Eye ready to take a shot. He takes the shot, but Chigiri Hyoma saves it as the ball is loose again at a pretty high altitude. Barou could not believe what he'd just witnessed, as Chigiri was really looking cold on this panel. But then he proceeds to say something ridiculous that completely ruins the moment. It seems that the loose ball went towards Sendou, as he was tightly marked by two of the Manshine City players. But he went for a shot anyway and scored the winning goal for Ubers. Barou is still frustrated about Chigiri, as Chigiri looks to be very frustrated too now. Aiku is relieved and seems to be really happy for Sendou, and that makes sense since they were teammates in the former U20 team. Sendou is celebrating now with Aiku holding him tight. With that goal, Match 8 of the Neo-Egoist League is over. The Ubers guys have won the game 1-3. Nagi is looking very exhausted. It looks like someone is about to go even lower in his ranking than before. Rio is feeling empathetic towards Nagi as AGI tells them that those two won't be able to level up anymore the way they are. By the way, if you resonate with my content, feel free to hit that subscribe button. AGI tells them that the next match is their last chance to prove themselves. He tells him something really interesting now, which is that before they'd both become insignificant randoms, he wants Rio to break up his partnership with Nagi. I can actually make sense of AGI here as they're relying on each other to make plays. They are becoming too predictable on the field because they're always seeking out each other. But Rio tells AGI to shut up and leave him alone, as he doesn't like the fact that he's meddling with his business. However, AGI continues by stating that Rio is too codependent. If he genuinely wished to become stronger and grow to evolve into a world-class player. Sometimes it's necessary to have the guts to cast aside those precious to you, exactly the way Nagi did when he wanted to play with Isagi instead of Ryo to make sure that he's improving at a rapid rate. Yet he has never abandoned his promise to Ryo. Imagine if Ryo goes rouge and awakens his ego to new lengths. Nagi fans would be crying at that point. But it's possible that the pain and suffering he went through because of Nagi might still linger in the back of his mind. Nagi goes up to Barou now as he asks him what his goal is, just like he did with Itoshi Rin. He asks him what drives him, which results in him playing football so intensely. Barou is confused as he tells Nagi that he obviously wants to become the best player in the world. He's always had a huge ego. The good thing about Barou is the fact that after he had Isagi as his goal, he immediately switched course and is sticking to it now, while Nagi is completely clueless. So just like he did with Itoshi Rin, he asks Barou what happens after he reaches his desired outcome. Barou tells him that he will define an era of football as its king and destroy all those who dare to challenge him for his throne. This kind of ambitious ego is the thing that drives Barou Shui to strive towards greatness all day, every day. Nagi understands as he realizes that Barou wants to become the king of the football world. Barou doesn't look too pleased as he asks him what's up with those half-assed, weak-willed questions all of a sudden. Another thing that he has noticed is that Nagi is not even annoying, so he asks him what's up with that. But Nagi obviously doesn't have an answer. He wouldn't ask questions like that to Barou and Rin otherwise. Barou explains that it feels like his hunger to become stronger is gone. He can't even feel his usual pain-in-the-ass competitiveness anymore. All Barou sees now is a loser pretending to fight because he's lost his edge. Nagi really isn't playing football for himself anymore. Honestly, the time when he cast aside Ryo to move towards his objective was the best moment in his character development and in his development as a player as well, keeping a close look and playing alongside Isagi to use that against him down the line. After he made that goal against Bastard Munchin, he has indeed lost that edge because he felt accomplished, even though Manshine City didn't end up winning that match. Nobody can help him with this internal problem of his. Ryo is just making sure that he'll never reach his potential subconsciously, and if Chris Prince could do something about it, he would have taken the necessary action by now, don't you think? This really is something that has to come from himself, as he needs to identify what he's playing football for so that he can get back that heat that Barou is talking about. Barou tells him to go hit rock bottom, despair, and die as he calls him a wimp. And I kind of agree with Barou here, to be honest. And after this, he says something really interesting as well. He tells Nagi that unless he does some serious soul-searching with that half-assed ego, he wouldn't stand a chance on the world stage, confirming my hypothesis about Nagi Seishiro that I've discussed at length in my recent Nagi theory. We move to PXG versus FC Barcha now, as SHIDOU scored the winning goal for PXG through a header, as the match concludes with a score of 3-2. Something funny to note here is that FC Barcha got closer to beating PXG than any other team within the Neo-Egoist League so far, excluding Bastard Munchin, which probably means that they're in better shape before going into their final match against Manshine City. Reichi seems to be really enjoying himself by watching SHIDOU go crazy as we move to the Germany Stratum's monitor room. Gagamaru says that it's an acrobatic diving header. Hiyori says that even though Lavigno came on, and together with Otoya, they helped get the most out of Bachira. It wasn't enough in the end thanks to SHIDOU's winning goal. So this literally means that Loki didn't even substitute in for PXG. They've done all of this without their master, which should scare Bastard Munchin a little bit, to be honest. Isagi says that with that, they and PXG are the only teams who are still undefeated. This means that the match against PXG will be an all-out battle to determine the champion of the Neo-Egoist League, as SHIDOU is making a goofy pose. SHIDOU's acrobatic header helps PXG get a win against the Spanish giants FC Barcha. As the showdown between the two undefeated teams draws even closer, the egoist's blood begins to boil in anticipation. Isagi gets really hyped as he says that the stage is set for the best. To be continued in Chapter 246, Anomaly and Abnormal. Watch this video on your screen next where I go deeper into Nagi Seishiro's situation. I'm out. Peace.